Everybody out there on YouTube, this is Joseph Deladani. You all know me, historian, fitness guru, one sexy, charismatic guy. Used to be a preacher. Well, I call myself that anyways. Been a while though. I'm making this YouTube video because I just feel like, number one, I'm connected with a lot of people, and I just it's always nice to see a video with somebody where you can hear their voice, where you can talk to them and they're talking at you, and I'm looking at you guys and I'm speaking with you. I've done other videos before, a little bit of inspirational stuff, and got positive feedback on it. It really makes me happy. Not that I'm big in the YouTube or social media world, because I'm not, but I did a few preachings here and there, and I didn't really expect to become famous or anyone to watch me much, but my thing was, if I could reach one person, that would make a lot of difference for me. It'd make me really happy. Being connected, well, first of all, I've been busy. I love history. I'm passionate about, I am religious, and I'm passionate about my workouts. Had another great workout this morning, and I'm going to do other stuff later. I think the physique is coming along. I look better, I think. Feeling pretty good. I don't do 1 rep maxes anymore. I just do a lot of reps on everything. Except for, I think on deadlift I'm going to change it up, because I don't want to compromise my form and get hurt. Maybe go back to doing heavy weight, 5-6 reps. Maybe deadlift around 300 pounds and do 5-6 reps with that or something. I'm a little light, about 150, but I'm more ripped, and I like the deadlift more than the bench press, but anyways, I'm sorry, I'm rambling on. That's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about, I said earlier I'm religious. Now, obviously, I'm connected with a lot of people, just like anybody else is. I know a lot of people from different circles. I know atheists, and I like a lot of them a lot. I know Christians, I know Catholics, I know people that just don't know. And, I'm going to be your friend no matter what. I don't care. But one thing I don't talk religion and politics, because sometimes it turns ugly. I can understand anybody's point of view. But there are reasons why I believe what I believe. And I'll always, there's a reason, and to me it doesn't matter. I can understand everybody's point of view. I like everybody, and this is, I hope this take goes well. I don't write down notes. Sometimes I'll look up a few things here or there to refresh my memory. A lot of times I don't even do that, because I want to be real. I want to talk to you guys, and I hope all you guys. I'm going to post this on Facebook. I met there's people that I know from way back from elementary school. There's people that I know from work. There's people that I've met here and there, family, other friends, people that I just met on social media, which I love a lot. It's just amazing. I love social media. I'm not gonna lie. I love it. You meet all kinds of neat and interesting people, and infamous people sometimes. You meet all kinds of people. It's but we won't get into that. But it's funny. It's crazy. I'm in a crazy place. Anyways, I live here in Las Vegas, Nevada. And I don't party every night. I got a job, okay? We don't live in casinos. We don't live on the strip. We live in houses. But okay, I make these videos, and I'm going to say something that I think a lot of people, my issue with organized religion is, and I'm religious, but a lot of people have issues with organized religion because a lot of things. You get disenchanted with it. A lot of people do, because a lot of times they're always asking for money. Now, don't get me wrong. They do need money to keep the doors open, to pay the wages of the people in charge. You need money to survive. We all do. But when you're begging for it, that's just something that you shouldn't do. Give if you can give. Now, the Bible does say pay tithes, if you believe in the Bible, 10%. It does say that. And I don't think there's anything wrong with having a message on it. But I don't think you should harp it on everybody all the time. I think that, and someone asked me, well, why does God need money? God doesn't need money. Do you see God coming down here and paying, he has to pay his electric bill? You think anyone's going to give a late notice to God? God doesn't need money. It just talks about giving your best to God. In the Old Testament, God, he came down on Cain because Cain didn't give his best, but just giving your best to the Creator, to the guy that later died for us. It's not that he needed money. He didn't need that sacrifice. That sacrifice was already dead. So, he's like, well, why does he need money? And someone asked me, well, why does God need money? Really? Yeah, we're throwing up there for him and he's getting the money. No, we're being our best, giving our best to him, trying our hardest, okay? All right. So anyways, people get disenchanted about that. Sometimes people get offended. And I've been offended a couple of times. And I'm the kind of person, a lot of people that really know me know this. A lot of people that don't know me don't know it. They think I'm, somebody that's shy, that's quiet. You don't want to come at me because I'm going to come back at you. Bottom line, I'm going to. Right or wrong, maybe that's wrong. Maybe sometimes it's right because you got to stand for it. But maybe it's wrong a lot of times the way some of us can do it, the way I can do it sometimes. I don't know. And this is getting into sensitive territory, and I hate talking about stuff like this because I'm always fearful, but I'm going to try to say things right to where I don't get in trouble here. Like for instance, I'm a big fan of fantasy art. Anyone that knows me on Facebook knows I love fantasy art. I'm looking at one right now. I found one of this girl. She's amazing, that drawing, and it just takes you to some place just beautiful where you could, you could imagine yourself living in. But because of the girl that's on there, maybe some of my religious friends may not like the picture. And this is actually my favorite one. So, but anyways, some people may not be into that. I know some people that's not. I know I had a brother, and I'm not going to mention his name. I'm not going to say everything because, like I said, I'm getting tough territory here because I really fear doing this, and I don't want to. I had someone call me out because of some of my photos, which aren't illegal, by the way. They say I'm scantily clad, but the brother asked me, and he says, "What are you going to tell God on Judgment?" and other stuff. But what are you going to tell God on Judgment Day? Oh, really? You're the judge now? What about the stuff you do? Because the Bible says in Matthew 7:5, Jesus says, hey, take the log out of your own eye before you talk about somebody else. We're not here to judge others. Take the log out of your own eye. And I point out stuff that he did to him. And I'm not going to get into all this stuff because I'm not here to bash anybody. But I'm just stating a fact is that a lot of times with the money issue, with people getting offended, with everybody being judgmental and being so, oh, you can't do this and you can't do that, and challenging others. Take the log out of your own eye. When they were going to stone the adulteress, which is a sin, and I agree it's not good. She committed adultery. And Jesus said, let he who is without sin cast the first stone. Even though it was against the law, even though it was a bad thing. He told them, hey, look, we've all committed sin. We're not the judge, is basically what he was saying. Judge not that ye be not judged, Matthew 7:1. Romans 3:23, for all have sinned and come up short of the glory of God. We've all sinned, we've all done things. Who are we to tell others that judge others and say things about others and tell others how to live? And if you believe in a creator like I do, then they'll answer to God later on. Okay? But it's not our job to do it. That's why Jesus got on the Pharisees and Sadducees. The Pharisees were putting demands on people that they themselves couldn't live up to. Strict demands. He's like, you hypocrites. You can't even live up to these demands. And I've had people tell me that I was cocky before. And like I said, I'm getting into tough territory. I'm not going to... This was years ago. We worked things out. But I've had people tell me... I had someone tell me, well, you're cocky because you don't do everything I say. Oh, really? Have you listened to yourself? You don't do everything I say. That's real humble. I told him, you need to look in the mirror at yourself. And, you don't like that. Well, I'm in charge, I've been told. But I'm not the one that walks up there and talks about how smart and great I am. And I just watched a big thing on forgiveness. So I'm just saying all this to make a point, okay? And what's done is done. We all made mistakes. I made my mistakes in that instance too, and a lot of things I did that was wrong too. And I said a lot of things that were wrong, and I lost my temper a lot of times that was wrong. And maybe a lot of times I need to bite my tongue when I didn't. Okay, so I was wrong a lot too. But I just say all this to make a point. Because there's just a lot of stuff going on. That's why people are getting disenchanted. We all need to be there for each other. We're not here to judge each other. And I used to be pretty judgmental too. I don't really say too much to people's faces, but I will say something. A couple times I'll say things here and there, but for the most part I kind of avoid that kind of confrontation. But secretly I was, I did a lot of that too. But as you get older, you learn more. The Bible. There's a lot of craziness going on in the world, people getting killed by cops and committing crimes and doing it, or, justified, or maybe it's not. Sometimes they don't have weapons, I don't know. I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to get too controversial here. There's people that love the president. There's people, no matter what he does, he can't do anything wrong. People that hate him, no matter what he does, he can't do anything right. And I don't talk religion and politics. But we live in a world where people would rather sit there and watch shows about these people that, you can like whatever you want. I'm not judging you. We all get entertainment in different ways. I like to surf the internet a lot. Maybe that's a waste of time. I love the internet. I'm not big on video games, but I love the internet. I love social media. I love YouTube. I love watching stuff on the internet. I love looking stuff up. But we watch, and like I said, I'm probably guilty of it too. We watch these people that are do-nothings, that really aren't talented, and we follow them instead of going out there and making a difference. Instead of following a professional athlete, LeBron James, and I love LeBron. He got a lot of criticism. He's my favorite player, but this guy makes a boatload of money, but he's not saving lives like a doctor is. And I think in society we look up to the wrong people sometimes. Obviously, he makes that money because, he earned it because we're buying tickets to go watch the game, so there's a market for it. If the demand went down, then he wouldn't get paid that amount. So, all the people that say, teachers don't make this and an athlete makes that. Well, you know what? That's our fault as a society. There's a reason why they're making that. If we quit watching the games, then they're not going to be making that. So don't tell me about how, teachers should be making this and this person should be making that, and even though I just did that earlier, but my point is we put our priorities in the wrong places sometimes. But I hear it a lot though, and my point is, and I'm going all over the place again. We as a society, we were so quick to judge, and then you have the people that are for gay marriages, and then there's the people that aren't for them, and then there's this whole Bruce Jenner thing. I think he's going by Caitlyn now, as of this. I think he did his first shoot in Vanity Fair. So we have this whole Caitlyn Jenner thing, and is it something that I understand? Is it I'm an eye for it? I don't know if I could say I am or not, but who are we to judge? If it makes them happy, why not? Someone pointed out to me, hey, they've been drag queens forever, and it's the first time we've heard about it in a while, but, who's to say what's right or wrong? We're not the judge, even if it's wrong. Like the adulteress in the Bible was wrong, even if it is wrong. And I'm not saying it is, because I always got to preference my stuff, because everything's out there today. If you say one little thing, they were like, oh, he said it was wrong, and this, and then everybody wants to attack you. I didn't say that. I said, even if it is wrong, okay? The adulteress in the Bible was definitely wrong too, according to the law. But, Jesus said, we're not here to make that decision. You have to face a higher power later on. Okay? And then now this is different. And I'm going to say, what about if you steal or commit a crime or kill somebody? That's different. You're breaking the law of society. You're hurting society. You know rights and wrongs. What people do in their own home is their business. Would people want to be a man or a woman? That's their business. They're not hurting anybody. They're not breaking any law. Now, it's different if you're selling drugs to a kid or committing murder or that's hurting society. That's breaking a law. And I got these pictures. They're not illegal, so I can do it. Whether I'm right or wrong, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But we need to quit judging. We need to be there more for each other. And I love you guys, and I know I could post a video like this because I'm speaking real talk. Now, I don't know who's going to watch all By the time I get done with this, it's going to be 20 minutes of me yakking. But I don't do notes. I don't study hard before doing this. It's just a real person talking real. I don't got notes. See? No notes. If I was preaching a message, I'd have to have notes. Now, the really good ones don't need notes. I guess that's why I'm not a really good one. You know, sometimes our own egos can get the best of us. I thought that, I used to think, man, you know, I'm such a talented speaker. I'm so charismatic. Even at jobs I always had this. A lot of times in the past, you have your ego, and then your ego comes down pretty quick. You know, you learn what you really are. You know, that you're not great like you think you are. You know what I mean? That's happened to me a lot. Looking back, I've made a lot of mistakes. And it's just like the football player. I heard someone say once, man, I wasn't the football player I thought I was. That's all right though, because you know we're all significant as human beings. We're all important. That's why we all need to be there for each other, not judge, not be quick to say things. And if somebody's wrong, let them be wrong. But make sure you take the log out of your own eye first. And I'll probably, like I said, whenever somebody comes at me like that, I tell them about themselves, and a lot of times they don't like to hear it. It's like, well, you're telling me about myself. What about the log in your own eye? Okay, come on, I'm telling you about yourself now. So it is what it is. But I hope you guys enjoy this video. I'm going to post this. We're going to get comments. And just try to not to be so judgmental, and try to accept everybody, and we're all trying to be there for everybody. And I'm sorry about some of my rants. I said some stuff in here I really didn't want to, but I wanted to make this video and make a point. I posted some stuff, and I got a lot of you guys supported me, and which is good. But maybe I shouldn't have said everything that I said. You look back and you think sometimes, man, I shouldn't have done that. A lot of times I'll open my mouth or I'll say something and then I'll regret it, man. I shouldn't have done that. It wasn't necessary. And you live and you learn. But I do it over and over. But you know, what can you do? You're learning forever. I'm a young man, 37 years old. My mom's in her 60s. She tells me she's still learning. So that's what I have to say. So all you people that I just met on here, you can hear me, you can see me, you can see how I'm like. This is the me instead of just reading stuff that I write. Now I thought about writing an article on this. I used to blog a lot and write a lot. Some good, some not so good, but I'm not the best writer in the world. I used to be pretty good when I was in school, but you lose it if you don't work at it. It's very hard for me now, and it's very hard for me to think, well, that doesn't sound right. And it's just hard for me to put stuff together in writing. It's very difficult. So I do this now. Last time I went to school, I graduated from college in 2004, business management degree I haven't used yet. I got a degree though. I got a college degree. And the first person to go in my family, me and my sister, she graduated too. And that's something, I got my high school diploma, I got my college degree, and I was an honor student. And that's something that you can never take away. Whether you do whatever you want with it, that's always going to be something there. As I got this paper, that means I accomplished something. Whether you use it or not, it's an accomplishment. I've had people tell me before, why would you go anyways? And a friend told me that. And I'm not connected with this friend on Facebook, but if I saw a friend, I would say something to them now. It's like, well, it's just something that I felt like doing. It's something good to have. Heck, an NBA player, a lot of times they'll go back to college and graduate. And what do they need it for? They're rich. I know sometimes they don't handle their money well, but a lot of times they do. They do investments and stuff. What do you need a degree for? Why get one? Because it's good to have that education. Back in the 1800s, a lot of times people weren't educated, and they wanted to be educated, and they wanted to be smarter. There was a time when a lot of people couldn't read back a long time ago. And I'm going off track here. I was supposed to end this 16 minutes in 16 minutes. Now it's about 19 minutes and counting. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm signing off. Bye, everybody. This is Joseph Deladani.